Hi there, welcome to Useful Things. My name's Paul, and I thought just to kind of start you off today, I'm going to give you a tour of my city so far. Not quite finished, but I was looking at the city or the kind of group of cities on the list that they have, the top 500. Notice mine was 415 at the time of recording. And if you're looking for just to want to take a tour of the city itself, it's Cair Paravel, which is number 415 at the moment. Might be higher or lower by the time this video gets posted and you want to pop in and have a look. So I just wanted to show you my city, what I've done so far, what it's looked like, and some things you'd be familiar with if you've seen some of my other videos, and we'll go from there. Right, we'll start off in the corner where we've got this kind of utilities area. So we've got the big power stations, the water utilities, this reservoir, and the recycling things from the forest. And here is my industrial park. So I'm trying to spread this out a bit so it's not some heaving mess of pollution. And next to the farm there, which is kind of nicely laid out. And I use the farm and the power plants and everything else to make a lot of money selling that on. And if you want to know more about that, you can do some trading. So you might be familiar with this canal from the port video. So this is what it looks like with some buildings around it a bit closer in. So I think I've used pretty much every industrial building except the mining ones. Got the data centers there with a helipad and the airport, which I think what I've added here is a train station. And if you notice, next to the train station, just to kind of bookend the train station, I've put these warehouses on there just to make it look a bit neater. And so that's linked up, providing rail service to basically the top end or the north end of the city. So here I've got one of the neighborhoods there. And this is a retail area primarily. And I'll show you kind of stretches all the way from here. And this is complete retail commercial things. Under the interstate, or motorway, depending on which part of the world you're from, right down to here. And I still got some more stuff I want to do there, but I just want to show you this work in progress. I'm really pleased with this section here and this overall as we go through it. You'll just see so many unique buildings. I've spent a lot of gold on this, probably at least 40,000 gold, if not more. And if you want to know how to get that amount of gold to build cities like this, I've got a video on that. So I love these older historic buildings that you can build just kind of some nice kind of historic sections if you don't want everything skyscrapers and looking modern. The Taj Mahal there, laid out with the parks and using a lot of the new parks there. So this is the Louvre. I've decided to do it in this layout here in one big huge square with various parks and a maze in the middle. Lots of churches, a few mosques as well. I guess this is like the religious center, the Roman ruins, all by the seafront. And there's the Guggenheim. I like the Guggenheim. That's a fun little place there. And here, I see this particular historic building. This is huge. This is probably the biggest kind of, at least now it's all attached together, the biggest building in the game that I've designed. And so this is a park slash place where I've put Windsor Castle. Now I like Windsor Castle, but it seemed really awkward. How do I put this in somewhere? So I've built it up on top of this hill, put a moat around it, put the other castle there, and just given it this real park. So we've got Stonehenge there as well. And this place, which I'm not even going to pronounce that, I think it's French. So good luck with that, pronouncing that one. We've got the winery here, these trees. And it's just a real wonderful historic park here. And here we've got some of the museums, Hagia Sophia at the top end there. And coming back towards some of the beaches as well. So we've got some more mosques and things here. Now I want to show you the beaches. So I've built this pier there with I think it's a CNN tower. or CN Tower there. And it's got another pier here with the Freedom Wheel. There you go, Go Freedom. And these lovely large hotels there with the pyramids, just to make this a real tourist trap. There we go. And there's another beach I've got there with some fun buildings. If you notice here, we've got this kind of this grand mosque there. So lots of these big expensive buildings there. And we've got the Sydney Opera House right by the harbour. I like that, with Statue of Liberty. That's kind of cool. Right, before we go into this middle island, I'm just going to pull it across and you can have more of an aerial view. I think, did I show you this park? Well, it's not really a park. It's just kind of an entertainment area with lots of stuff going on. You got the skate park, tennis courts, zoo and whatnot. There we go. And we've got this retail area here. I like this actually, this kind of walk-in retail area. I've got another one of these walk-in retail areas here. Right there, just kind of building it up, and put one of these car parks there. Oops, don't want to move that. Parks. So we've got this neighborhood here. This is probably the biggest neighborhood in the area. So just kind of give you a tip on how I do neighborhoods is essentially you've got the main good roads that go around it, tree lines around by the roads, and then inside the neighborhood then you've got these other roads, these kind of smaller roads with this school area and the football stadium. You've got all these big fancy houses near the beach. And I like to have the houses spread out so they're not on top of each other. Or they did put them on top of each other here, just dotted around this bit of beach here, just because it's kind of a prime location to build upon. Although I don't know if that looks messy or not, your call. And here you might have seen this in a previous video, the jungle area. I've got a video on how I've made that. And then let's moving across. There we go. So we're kind of flying over the city now into this central island. And then we got the Burj Khalifa. It's kind of a central point building really, isn't it? Next to the Petronas Towers. And I like to square these things off. And I started to build a little river walk going along here that follows the line of it. And there's another one being built on the next section, which you see. So you could kind of technically walk all the way around here up until this point, which is our railway. There we go. So we've got a retail park there with the malls and the car parks. And as you notice, I like to spread the buildings out, give everything space. So there's not one big building touching another big building. And here we've got a central park there. Not the central park, Apple HQ. There we go. And Apple, if you want to sponsor any of my videos, I would gladly welcome that. You don't have to pay me. Just give me an iPhone or a Mac or something fun. And here we go. So we're in a historic part now. Looking at this, I did this before the other side, and I don't mind this, but I think looking back, I could probably do this better. But still, it's not so bad. You got the Eiffel Tower there, and just kind of put that in a nice setting. I think giving some significant buildings room to breathe, room to be seen is good, and perhaps maybe more realistic as well. As you see, so you can see this waterfront there. Opposite, an area still looking to be built. And there's the good old BT Tower. Not the fanciest building in the world, but it works, it's good. And another neighborhood there. Going on into another retail space and another neighborhood. So we'll just sweep across here to the space station. Don't want to spend too much time on there, or SpaceX HQ as I like to call it. And this is a nice little area. I've got a video on how to make that next to this military base, and a video on how to make that. And here we can see the train line, which stretches all the way across from the airport and the industrial section down to the docks here, which I also have a video on how to make docks, which since that video, I've added this little fishing section here. And there's another neighborhood. more malls. Now, what I've tried with this neighborhood, I think you might find this interesting. So if you can see there, I've used these little square parks almost to kind of, when you zoom in, maybe they don't look so good, but to kind of give each one a little back garden. Because sometimes when you put these houses next to each other, they look really squished, especially if you put them back to back as well. So I've tried to give them a little back garden to that neighborhood. We've got this section here. This is unfinished, as you can tell. And I'll sweep down, show you what I'm working on at the moment. Right. So I've laid out this park area. This is going to be a big park, the interstate next to it. And I've put this floating overpass over there, so there'll be a pathway that walks underneath, or pathways. You can do that down to this other downtown area. I'm in the place now where I put residential skyscrapers are being repeated, but I've still got lots of commercial ones. So I've got this park here as a center point. And these three buildings, you'll see at the front, three of the newer buildings. And you've got the textures. Now, what you don't see there is you've got this bridge that goes underneath. I'll show you where that goes in a second. And so we're still going to build into this area there next to the little school dotted around, but we've got this waterfront here, which is kind of nice. Maybe I'll make this the screenshot for the video. Let's do that now. Boom, there we go, screenshot. So that'll be the thumbnail for the video, I think. And or maybe it won't, we'll find out. So I'm building this river walk here, as you can see. So my aim is to make this river walk quite nice along there. So that's in work in progress. And then finally, the only other thing to show you is I've got this island here where I'm building a second airport which services the city, because you've got this bridge there and that bridge there, and then people don't have to travel all the way to the other side of the city to fly. I think this is pretty much it so far. So yeah, there's got this island here that's got nothing on it. Not sure what to do there yet, but I'm thinking through some ideas. So there it is. That's my city so far. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see any additions to the city, or if you think there's anything I can add, anything you like, anything you don't like. And I'll see you in the next video. Hope that gives you some ideas. Take care now. Bye.